All right, guys, we are back in Pixlr, and today we're going to be talking about the Cutout Tool. So in order to get started, we're going to click here on Pixlr E. We're going to go to Create New on the left. I'll leave it on Full HD, leave everything the same, and click on Create. All right, the Cutout Tool is this little scissor icon over here on the left, and it's not going to give us any options until we actually have something to cut out. This tool is useful when you have a picture that you want to take pieces out of. So let's find a picture. I'm going to click on plus. Click on image to add a image to my layer. Okay, it's a beautiful picture of a T-Rex, and a lot of pictures you might find online will have a kind of plain flat background like this T-Rex. And the first version of the Cutout Tool is going to be very useful for something like this. If we go to the Cutout Tool now, you'll see that we have lots of options because we have a picture selected on our layer here. All right. So we are going to be mainly looking at the Magic Mask tool and the Lasso tool. The Magic Mask tool is what works great for these flat colored backgrounds. All you have to do is click on it and then select the background by clicking on that. And magically it goes away, and our T-Rex now has no background behind it. We could put things behind it. We could put it on the moon. We could put it wherever we need to do. But if I zoom in a bit, you can see that there is a little like 1 pixel white border that now that you've seen, you can't unsee when I zoom out. And the way to fix that is actually, we're going to go back. I'm going to undo by going to edit and undo. I have to do a couple times because I moved them a bit. You can also hit Control Z. Go back to the Cutout tool, back to the Magic Mask tool. We're going to add a little bit of a feather, which is going to make the edge that is left a little bit fuzzy. Now, normally I do a feather of between 2 and 5. Anything more than that, and you're going to get like a halo of light around your picture. But if I put this up to 4, click on that background again, you'll see that that white edge is much softer and harder to see. Okay, so that's the easy one. That's the Magic Mask tool. If you have a picture that has a background, though, and let me just grab that by clicking on the plus, going to Image, and getting this beautiful picture I found online of a chicken. This is much too big. Let's make it a bit smaller. You can see that this one doesn't have a flat colored background. It's got like trees, blurred trees in the background. If we tried to use the Magic Mask tool here, it's going to cut out a very strange shape, and that's not going to work out the way that we want it to. Okay, it might work in some places, but it's going to take a long time for us to click, and it's not going to look that great. So I'm going to undo those, and we're going to talk quickly about the Lasso tool. All right, this is what I use. I usually set my feather at about 2 when I'm doing this, and we want to pay close attention to what mode we are in. The Remove from Mask mode, when we click and drag our shape around it, will remove parts of the picture on the layer we have selected. The Add to Mask tool, if we draw a shape, will add parts back that we've taken away, which is fantastic news because unlike the Eraser tool, anything that we take away, we can put back by just switching to the other mode. Okay? So now, we're going to zoom in on this chicken's face. We're going to go back to Remove from Mask, and now I'm going to carefully draw my line along the edge of this chicken. All right, I'm going to go a little ways. I'm not going to try and do the whole thing at once. And then I'm going to loop into the background back to the beginning of my line over here and let go of that. All right, and you can see, let me hide my T-Rex layer here. Now we've got a nice clean edge here that's gotten rid of the background. And what I'm going to do now is just go back to where I ended, click and drag along that edge for a little while longer, and then loop back around into the background back to where I started. Let go and keep on moving on that way. Now, any like really cool Photoshop picture that you may have seen probably has some of this in it. And this is the most time-consuming part because it's the most important part. If you do a not great job with this cutout, it's going to be very obvious that your picture has been messed with, has been altered with a Photoshop-like program. And we want these to be as believable as we can, so we want to take our time, do little bits at a time, make sure we are getting what we want left behind and what we don't want taken out. Okay? So this is the part you really want to take your time with. You can see here I left a little too much there. I could just go back in and take some more of that out. Okay, you can see eventually we're going to be able to go through around these bits, get rid of those, and we'll have just our chicken head left. All right. So if you have a background that you need to get rid of, the lasso mask tool works great. If you have a flat color background like in our T-Rex, the magic mask tool is what you want to use. Okay. Good luck with your projects, and I can't wait to see what you create.